All right, hopefully you guys can see me well. This is exciting. This is the first vlog that I'm doing in a very long time. If any of you have, seen more stuff from our channel, you probably remember the prep series I did in 2022. So considering I'm doing another competition prep, I'm going to be vlogging as much as possible, in between to show you guys a little bit of the journey. So today is the first vlog, as I said, and we're gonna meet Manene, who's, a competition prep client as well, and Jack, who usually does a lot of our videos. So we're gonna meet them at a gym that's around an hour away. So we're gonna drive there right now and have a great time. I have a push day today, so chest, shoulders, triceps, and a little bit of quads. So I'm gonna try to document that session as much as possible and kind of show you what I'm doing, for pre-workout, post-workout meal, all that good stuff, and have just a good time overall. So stay tuned. All right, so I arrived at the gym. We had quite a bit of traffic, so not the most fun start to the day, but that's okay. We're gonna hit an awesome workout now. I'm gonna show you what I typically have pre-workout, and it might be a different kind of concoction than you would typically see. So I actually don't buy traditional, pre-workouts that have all the ingredients already, plus like stimulants and caffeine and all that stuff. So what I actually do is, I'll show you here. So I buy caffeine pills. Okay, I buy caffeine pills. There's 200 milligrams in each pill. I usually just do one, and then if I have like a longer workout, I might pop another like 100 milligrams halfway through the workout, or another 50 milligrams halfway through the workout, just for another kind of kick if it's a longer session or filming like a day like today. But typically I just take 200 milligrams per session. And then for pump, I take this product right here. I'm not sure if you guys can see that. So it's called Big Boy. It's by Ballistic Supplements. So this doesn't have any caffeine in it. It just essentially has ingredients that would make you have a better pump. So has citrulline, glycerol, agmatine sulfate, and then black ginger extract. So that is the ingredients on this, and I find the pumps are awesome on this. You can't find too many pre-workouts with a full 6,000 milligrams of citrulline, so it's nice to have that here, and glycerol also gives you like crazy pumps as well. So I typically have that, and I'll have a lot of water with that, because a lot of the pump ingredients, you need water with them for them to have an effect. And I think a lot of people just, how you see people take their pre-workouts without any without any water, just like dry scoop it. So if you want a good pump, like, you have to drink water. Not even if you're just taking a pre-workout. Like, in general, I think a lot of people do not have enough water pre-training, and you will see a significant decrease in performance, and you just won't feel right in the gym if you don't drink enough water. So I tend to drink like 3/4 of a shaker cup within, my pre-workout window within an hour before training. Okay. So those are the first two things. Then you might find this weird, but I actually I scoop a half a teaspoon of salt and no salt. I'm not sure if you guys have heard of no salt before. Obviously you've heard of normal salt, which is, so half a teaspoon of salt. Okay. And I find that really just gives me good electrolytes, for my session, and also pumps are better and more vascularity when I have some salt. And then also no salt. So Manene actually introduced me to this before, and what it is, it's just potassium. So mixing with the sodium with potassium, and I find the muscle contractions I have are just insane. The pumps are insane, and I feel good during my session. So, and some people do say that this can also help if you're somebody who gets like tension headaches from hard workouts. They say that having potassium can help with that as well. I'm not sure. I haven't read any science on that or anything, but I know a lot of people say that anecdotally. So that's my pre-workout stack. Then during the workout, I sip on, if it's a higher calorie day like today, I'll go into like macros and stuff like later, probably in this video or another video. But on the weekends, I have 2 refeed days. So on higher calorie days, I use dextrose with my like intra workout water. So dextrose is pretty much just like sugar, essentially. So instead of buying Gatorade powder like I used to do before, I just use dextrose. It's a little bit cheaper, and I usually just put like 30 grams of dextrose in my intra workout water that I drink throughout my workout, and that just gives me a little bit more fuel during training. Even if it's psychological, I find it makes a difference. And then so that is everything around my training window. And I'll talk more about like meals and macros and everything either later in this video or in another video. But now we're gonna go meet up with the guys and we're gonna hit our session. So we will see you there. And so, last thing I want to say is also we're at this gym right now. It's actually in Whitby, which is around, I said around an hour, but it took me like around an hour and a half. And it's not really a well-known gym. It's actually attached to this college. It's called like a Canadian Athletic Performance Center or something like that. I'll link the actual name, like, in this video so you can see what it is. We've trained here once before. It's a really nice gym. They have awesome equipment. I don't think many people even really know about it, and it's a bit out of the way, so I guess a lot of people don't come. And last time we had the whole place to ourselves after we were like an hour in, so I'm hoping that we have that as well. The owner is super nice. Everybody's super nice there. And again, the equipment is awesome. The lighting's good, so we should get some good shots. This is my first time using this camera. I think last time I was using my iPhone, right, on the last series, so I'm gonna get used to using this camera, and we'll see if I can adjust it, or maybe I'll get Jack to help me adjust it so I have some good settings when we're in the gym so I can get some good gym shots, because obviously, I don't know much about cameras. That's not my specialty. I'm really damn good at getting people in shape, but I'm not very good at like lots of other things, including technology. So yeah, hopefully we can adjust the settings so that we have some good shots in the gym. So looking forward to seeing you guys in there, and let's get after it.
All right. So this is a quick overview that I'm going to do of how this workout went. So you can see I started with a little bit of Rice Krispie squares over there. Never a bad pre-workout snack. And again, today's a little bit of a higher carb day, which I'll get into at the end of this video. So I have a little bit more calories to play with, a little bit more carbs to play with. So I always like to do that. So in this first initial clip here, you can just see me and Menene. We're just getting a few walks in. I typically do 5 to 10 minutes of just some steady state walking before the workout to get my head in the right place and get in the zone, and also just get a little bit warmed up. It's always good to get some blood flowing and get your head in the right place for training. So this clip is me warming up for my first set of bench press. So a lot of people, I think, rush their sets, their warm-up sets specifically. You'll actually see I do quite a few warm-up sets in this video, because my first working set of bench is going to be with 235. So I hit the bar. You can see, then I'll rack that in. So I'll hit several reps with the bar. Then I'll start to load 135 on. So in this next clip here, you'll see 135, and I'll slowly work my way up. So just a general rule of thumb for warm-up sets, no matter how strong you are, always start with the bar. Make sure that your technique is in a good spot. Feel the muscles working, pump some blood into the muscles, and you should never be pushing really close to failure in your warm-up sets. It's just to get the motion down, locked and loaded and ready to go. In this next clip, I have 185 now in the bar. So on my bench, I'm really making sure that I keep my heels planted, my butt stays on the bench, wide stance there, driving my heels into the ground, controlled on the eccentric on the way down, and then explosive on the way up. I like to take outside shoulder width grip on bench. I find this is just the best kind of situation for me in terms of how to line things up biomechanically. So I think we're in a good spot with that. So now you can see I've loaded a little bit more on now. This is 205, and making my way up, just a few reps there, leaving lots of reps in the tank, just again to feel the weight and acclimate my nervous system up to heavier weight. So here we got 225. This is my last warm-up set, and I find by hitting my last warm-up set pretty close to my working weight, it just allows me to feel like the working weight is not as heavy, for lack of a better term. And then here we have Jack, our cameraman, who was nice enough to spot me for the set, even though I probably don't need a spot, because I'm not pushing all the way for like a 1 rep max or pushing all the way to failure. It's still nice to have just for like moral support, and also just for safety, just in case things go wrong. So thank you, Jack, for the spot. So this is 235. My rep range was 6 to 8. So this workout starts with 2 sets of barbell bench press, 6 to 8 reps. So here I'm doing a set of 8, really trying to keep my reps controlled on the way down, and then explosive on the way up, as I was saying before. So that is my set here. So that was 8 reps there, not a bad set. And always give your spotter props after as a thank you. That's just general gym etiquette, I'd say. And you can see Jack, although he's our videographer, he's a big man. He's got a lot of muscle. He's got a lot of muscle on him. He's a few years older. He has lots of training experience, and he's a strong guy. So we all happen to wear the exact same tank top on this day. We did not plan it, but yeah. So we're all wearing the exact same tank top, which is kind of funny. And then here I'm just showing Menene's set here. So he is super strong. So I actually programmed a machine press first before he goes into his first kind of compound with a dumbbell press, which you'll see later, just to pre-exhaust or pre-fatigue his chest, because usually gyms do not have heavy enough dumbbells for his working weights for like a dumbbell press unless we pre-fatigue him. So what we did is, let's get the chest a little bit fatigued first and then go into the dumbbell presses so that the dumbbells feel heavier, because most gyms only have up to 100. So we need to make sure that we still can put a good stimulus on the chest. So here we just pre-exhausted the chest first, and you can see great execution on these. This is a really cool machine press that they had at this gym. And then this was actually my second exercise as well. So I'm going to show you guys how this set looked. So on here, I kind of like to slide my butt more towards the front of the bench and kind of make like a double chin. And I find that just gives me a really good position to lock in and feel my upper chest contract on these machine presses here. And I'm also focusing on pressing through the heel of my hand, pushing through the heel of my hand and focusing on squeezing the chest and getting that deep stretch at the bottom. Nice deep stretch there. You can see I don't pause it, but, you know, really controlled on that stretch. Feel my chest, you know, stretching at the bottom and then driving through the heel of the hand on the way up. Big squeeze there. So the setup on these things is really important, guys. I don't skimp out on like taking the time to find the right setup with the machine that you're using, because it is different for every single machine. So you have to find a setup that really suits the way that your body is shaped and your biomechanics specifically, right? So that has this cool kind of foot pad there as well, so that you don't hurt your shoulders kind of getting in and out of that. So that was my set on the machine chest press. Then I did another one. This is my second set. So I had 3 sets in total. So I just filmed my first 2 sets here. So this is me again hitting it. You know, the pump cover came off, so now we all got matching shirts. Wow, would you look at that? But yeah, another great set here. I felt a lot of stimulus in my chest on this exercise. I really like this machine press. Not all machine presses I like, to be completely honest. And the gym I usually train at does not have like a great machine press that I really like to use. But this one is awesome. So really cool stuff with this machine press here. So this is the second set, I think, yeah. As I said before, this is my second set. And I did hit one more after this, but I didn't film it. So pushing close to failure. So good set overall. Awesome chest pump even after the second set. Okay, so as I said, second movement for Manene is the dumbbell press. Now, because he's so strong, even the hundreds are not too heavy for him. But here's the way we make it a little bit tougher. So if you turn the dumbbells ever so slightly, like so that they're not like straight across, you can see that he's actually able to get a bigger range of motion and that deep stretch position in his pecs at the bottom. So instead of having the dumbbell straight across, we just tuck the elbows a little bit and turn them ever so slightly so we can get that extra range of motion. Very important, because these dumbbells are so big, they will hit your chest before you hit full range of motion unless you do that slight twist. So great execution here, nice deep stretch at the bottom, driving, and good intensity on that as well. So you think you're strong, and then you train with Manene and you realize you're not that strong, and definitely hit failure. And he does some stretch at the bottom as well. This is my next exercise, lateral raises. So gonna hop into this here. So I actually, in this program, I actually had them with kettlebells. If you haven't tried lateral raises with kettlebells before, I highly recommend trying them out. It's really a different type of stimulus, I would say. And you can see I'm really trying to keep control the whole time. I keep tension on my delts. You can see already feeling like in this video compared to where we started the cut, I already feel like things are shaping up. Usually my delts are first to start kind of coming in. My delts, upper chest, and like my face usually starts to lean out pretty quickly. I mean, this is only really 12 or 13 days into the diet, so we haven't really been dieting for that long at this point. But I didn't get too bulky in the off season, so I think that set me up for being able to start from a pretty good place. So I should be able to get pretty damn lean this time around. So I'm very excited to see what another few weeks of dieting looks like. And then we got some nice motivation from Manene. We like to hype each other up during the workout. You know, it's all good camaraderie. And then again, this is my second set here. This is my second set with the kettlebell lateral raise, seated, so I can't cheat as much. And again, focusing on lots of tension on the delts. keeping that control. And this one was actually a drop set. So I hit the first set, and then I go right into a drop set after this, which you'll see in a second here. So I eke out as many good reps as I can with the kettlebells, just like that. And then trying to keep the form the same even at the end of my set when things get tough. And then pick up the dumbbells and try to hit another set. You can see the dumbbells were pretty light because my shoulders were pretty exhausted by this time. So people go too heavy on their lateral raises, man. You don't need to go super, super heavy. If you really want to stimulate the delts, you got to make sure that you're doing the movement properly. No swinging, no momentum, just keeping the tension on the side of your delts. So that was my drop set here. And it really starts to burn at the end there for sure. But yeah, so that was my lateral raise set. Then after that, what I did was I moved into my tricep extensions. So here I like to do tricep push downs. Well, I said tricep extension, but it's more like a tricep push down if you can see. But I like to keep my heel of my hand the thing that's putting pressure, and I'll extend straight down, big squeeze, and then come up, let my elbow track back while still being tight to the body and getting a big stretch at the top. You can see I really accentuate that stretch at the top. So I do these a little bit differently than maybe you've seen before, but I like to come really close to the cable stack and get that big stretch at the top. Don't forget that a lot of the growth stimulus we get is from that stretched position when your muscles stretched under load. So that's why it's really important to keep the control even on the eccentric and at the top. So yeah, triceps have always been more of a strong suit for me. I haven't actually hit them with that much volume in a long time. I think during my building phase, this is just another angle here. During my building phase, I think I had my triceps at like 4 or 5 sets a week. 4 or 5 sets a week. So not that high volume, but you obviously get a lot of volume in your triceps just on your pressing movements in general, right? When you're doing heavy bench press, or any other pressing movements, the triceps are going to be activated. So I shifted more of my volume, my weekly volume, towards things like delts and chest and lats during my building phase, because those were the muscle groups I was trying to build up, and a little bit less focused on triceps. But I do think they still made some progress. I think my execution on a lot of my tricep movements have improved, and I've been getting more out of them. So I think that's helped my tricep development as well. So that is the second set there. I'm just doing some posing. The lighting was pretty good here. Just fooling around with some posing there, some bodybuilding type poses. So not bad. So that was my tricep extension, or the tricep movement that I did. Here you can see a little bit of posing here. So this is just the beginning of the prep. So a nice honest look at where we're sitting. I'm pretty happy with the way my back is looking. Manena was just taking a picture for me to see what it looked like, because it's really hard to see what your back looks like. But yeah, I was pretty happy with how things were looking in terms of my back here. So I think genetically that's always been a little bit of a stronger point for me, that and my triceps. Then you can see Manene, who's just absolutely massive. So pretty good stuff here, just practicing a little bit of posing. I'm very excited to see what he looks like lean. He's never been like super lean before. He's never done an extended cut to the prep or anything like that. So it's gonna be insane because he's sitting on so much muscle mass. I mean, he is like 30 or 40 pounds heavier than I am. So yeah, pretty insane physique already. And I'm excited to see what he looks like once we take all the body fat off. So stay tuned for that, man. Oh man, we're just going to be filming some updates for you guys along the way. This is kind of just, again, some men's physique posing I've been working on. But yeah, not much to show when you're just first starting, but all the cuts will come in eventually, but not dissatisfied with where I'm sitting. But you know, you're always your own worst critic, and it's hard posing next to somebody who's extremely genetically gifted like Manene, right? He has just so much muscle mass, and it's really hard. It's really hard to compete with that. But we're not here to compete with each other. We're here to compete with our previous self. So always just a good time. You know, we're not here to judge each other. We're here to motivate each other. We're here to push each other to be better, right? So after that posing kind of intermission, here we have the cable chest flies. So I put these ones just around like rib height, I would say, and then I scoop up ever so slightly. So I think about bringing my elbows up and across my body to hit a little bit more of the upper chest, keeping my elbows slightly bent, shoulders down and back, and chest leading the whole time, big stretch, and then driving up and across. So again, really focusing on keeping each rep looking the exact same, not trying to cheat. Don't let the front delts take over. And that's there. Boom. So always good there. Yeah, so solid stuff. And another cue on chest flies, I see people, they'll like, I don't know, they'll change their elbow angle significantly throughout the course of the movement. I think it's cool if you like extend your elbows to strain them a little bit as you come through, but some people will turn their cable flies into like a press, right? If you're going to do a press, do a press. But if you're doing a fly, do a fly, right? And I like to visualize like I'm just giving a hug. Like you don't give a hug by pushing somebody away. So when you're doing a chest fly, don't push, right? You're flying. You're doing that hug motion, driving your elbows across the body, and focusing on keeping the tension on the chest the whole entire time on these. So pretty good stuff. I'm happy with the way the chest flies are looking, because I was running this specific type of chest fly for like 3 training blocks, I feel like.
You, David.
And then we're just
You're
fooling
gonna
around.
Carry the boats. You're gonna carry the logs. They don't
He's
know
always
me,
got
son.
some jokes to say, and a nice flex from Jack.
Bam.
So boom. So that's fun. Always got to have fun during the training. This was the second last exercise I did. So a cable crunch. Honestly, I'm not a big fan of this specific crunch machine. I just could not feel my abs. I couldn't get a good stretch, and it was hard to get a good squeeze. Like this would all depend on like the segment lengths of your body, whether it would be a good fit or not. I tried to adjust it, but it wasn't clicking in as much as the one I have at my gym. But we made the most of it. I still got a good stimulus in the abs, but not as much as I would have liked to. But the main cues on this one is you want to think about bring your chest down to your hips and breathing all your air out, right? And curving your spine. This is one of the only movements that I would actually recommend. Like you want to curve your spine, because the main role of your rectus abdominis or your six-pack muscle is to curve the spine, or what we call spinal flexion. In this case, kind of like bringing your chest down to your hips, right? And then here we have Menene set here as well. So you got to train your abs with weights, just like any other muscle group. You got to train your abs same way, with weights, progressing over time, good form, keeping control, good execution, right? I think a lot of people do these like ab circuits. It's like we don't train our biceps with 3 different exercises back to back with 2-pound dumbbells. So why do you train your abs like that, right? You got to, like, abs are the same type of muscle as your other skeletal muscle, and they need to be trained in a similar way for you to develop them, right? And obviously then you get lean enough and then you can see the abs. My abs have always been not my best body part, and they're also very like small like muscles in general. So even when I'm lean, like they're not super impressive, but you can still develop them. They have developed over the years, but yeah, they're not like a strong suit for me, I'd say, but that's okay. We can't have everything, strong suit. So these are quad extensions. I have 2 sets on this specific program on my push day, on my second push day of this program, because it's push pull lower push pull, and on the pull push lower pull push, and this push day I have a 2 sets of high rep quad extensions on here. So it burns, man. These burn. I'm really trying to focus on pulling myself in to the bench and keeping that stability, and then coming up for a big squeeze and then controlling all the way down. But man, those just really burn, I have to say. Those quad extensions, no matter how many times you do them, they still really hurt. So yeah. So I would say my legs are not big, but they're relatively strong, I would say. And they have like decent separation, but they're not like big. But I also haven't prioritized a ton of legs, because we're doing men's physique, right? So you're covered, your legs are covered in board shorts, but my new program that my coach gave me actually has quite a bit of legs. So yeah, it's been enjoyable, just training a little bit more legs. I do enjoy training legs, even though it is tough. So yeah, that was the last exercise of workout. I hope this workout, can't speak. I hope you like this voiceover. Hope you got some value from it, and I'm just going to go into a bit of a breakdown here, talking clip for you guys.
All right, so we wrapped up the workout. We did quite a bit of filming just for like Instagram reels and stuff like that. Had a good solid session. It obviously takes a little bit longer when we're doing filming and everything like that, but we did a little bit of posing, which you probably saw, and what you also probably saw is I did a little bit of a voiceover to walk you through my workout. So pretty solid session. So right now I'm going to talk about like the nutritional adjustment that I made. So, well, my coach made. So I'm working with a coach called Alberto Nunez, pretty well-known natural bodybuilding coach, because we are natural over here. And he recently made an adjustment. So originally I had to start my diet like by myself, and I started my programming for prep by myself because he wasn't available until yesterday for a chat. But yesterday we had a chat, and so going forward we set out a nice kind of game plan that we're going to adhere to, and right now my nutrition is changing a little bit. So instead of having a baseline kind of level of intake throughout the week that's consistent, we're going to run 5 low days in a row. So I'm going to have 5 days at 1900 to 2000 calories, and we're going to have a 2-day refeed every weekend on Saturday and Sunday, and that's going to be 2700 to 2900 calories. So 1900 to 2000 is pretty low for me. Like that's pretty close to my calories that were at the end of my last competition prep, but the goal is to get a pretty significant chunk off of my body weight and off of my body fat percentage by mid-December, because we're actually going to spend a 6-week period of time eating a bit more to fill back out and then start my competition prep diet in late January and the beginning of February. So the goal is to get to 176 by December 17th, and then have a 6-week build-up in terms of food, fill me back out, and then start dieting again at the end of January and early February. So that's kind of the game plan. So my body weight right now is 186. So got to drop 10 pounds before mid-December, and then hold steady from there. So feeling good, feeling decent. I mean, it's been, only not even 2 weeks so far, and I've pretty much been running like 2350 calories since October 2nd. So, and it's, the 14th right now. But yesterday was my first day at like 1900 to 2000. And then I'm going to run my 2 high days today and tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, and then starting Monday again, back to my low days and the new training program that he'll be putting together for me. So this program that you saw me run today was the previous one that I created. This is my last day of that training week. So it works out well for me to start a new program Monday anyways. So that is kind of the overview of what's going on.